Match week 28 brings us to the borough of Brooklyn. A soggy Saturday as Brooklyn FC returns home after a week away, and they fight for their playoff lives. They welcome Dallas Trinity to the Big Apple. Welcome inside Maimonides Park alongside former Gainbridge Super League defender Vicky Bruce. I'm Jake Griffith. A pleasure to have you with us. The playoff picture is starting to take shape, and we start with a look at our league table. Lexington and Sporting Jacks already in action today. Lexington picking up the win 2-1. They close the gap in the Shield race, now just off the pace of Jacks by 1 point. Further down the table, though, both Dallas and Brooklyn finding themselves below that playoff cut line. Brooklyn, a loss today eliminates them from postseason contention. The last time they were in action over a week ago, it was the same scenario, and it was the same opposition. They saw Dallas and a clinical 3-0 win.
Last time they played each other was a 3-0 win, and Brooklyn did an amazing job really finishing that game. They had everything to fight for, and they actually were playing down a man for part of that game and still managed to keep a clean sheet, so that was very well done. And Dallas didn't even get into the opposition's box until after the 70th minute. So they really had a good defensive line there.
A 3-0 win for Brooklyn, and all season long, they've relied on the services of their dynamic duo. Rebecca Cook getting a brace in that victory.
Rebecca Cook and Sam Kroger are the dynamic duo. They have done so well this season. We know exactly what to expect from them. Cook is capable of scoring a ton of goals, and Kroger is the assist queen, and she actually is potentially going to break the record tonight if she gets that 8th assist.
One more helper would break Jill Aguilera's single season record. For Dallas, they've struggled to get goals on the board this season. They'll have to rely on Celie Strawn tonight.
Yeah, Celie Strawn is, she's young, she doesn't have that much experience, but she has proven pivotal to Dallas' success.
A big spot for the 18-year-old getting her 9th start of the season, 21 total appearances. Dallas and Brooklyn, they've met 3 prior times this season. The series deadlocked. 1 win for each and a draw. 4th and final matchup of the year between Brooklyn and Dallas on the other side.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same: the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
Back in Brooklyn, moments away from the opening kick between Brooklyn FC and Dallas Trinity. Alongside Vicky Bruce, I'm Jake Griffith. All set to go here inside Maimonides Park, and we take a look at how these sides line up. The starting 11, first for Tomas Tanganina and Brooklyn FC. A 4-3-3, and Vicky, they make 2 changes across this 11.
This week they have Jordan Thompson back in, and Leah Zimmerman makes it back into 11 too. And, it's going to be a huge help for them to have Thompson back in here with 97 clearances she's had. And we know Zimmerman can score. She's got 6 goals on the board. So exciting stuff.
Zimmerman providing some width there on that right-hand side of the attack. It's a Brooklyn team. They want to get vertical, and they want to get into goal quickly. They'll have to do it against a solid defensive block of Dallas and manager Nathan Thackeray, who also roll with a 4-3-3, and they make 2 changes as well.
Dallas also has 2 changes, and that is Celie Strawn and Caroline Swan, and those are both, very young players, but hoping to make a big impact. It's exciting to see them and what they can do.
Nathan Thackeray has talked at length about Dallas's reliance on the young players and how they're not afraid to give their youngsters on academy contracts opportunities to succeed. Celie Strawn there in the center of your screen. Well, she's taken her opportunities and run with it. The future North Carolina Tar Heel getting some really good professional experience under her belt here in the Gainbridge Super League and trying to help lead Dallas to a victory. They've only won 3 times since the start of the spring season. Brooklyn, meanwhile, trying to get back in the win column for the 2nd consecutive match. Just 2 wins in their prior 5 entering this contest. It's a rainy one here inside Maimonides Park. Have to imagine that rain will play a factor as this contest goes on. Ball moves a little bit quicker when the pitch gets significantly soaked.
You never know if someone's going to slip at any given moment, or the ball could stop in a puddle. Could have huge implications.
Braden Fry, he is our center referee, clad in green and black there in the center of your screen, and he has both these teams set to go in this match week 28 clash. Fry sounds the whistle. The ball is moving in Maimonides Park, and we are officially underway as Brooklyn will thump that out of play, and it will be a goal clearance for Dallas. We're seeing teams utilize this tactic a little bit more at the start of matches. Helps you get your defense set, especially for a team like Brooklyn who wants to press high.
It's also a good way to just make sure the ball is far away from your own half and to just keep the opposition team on their back foot.
Alongside former Gainbridge Super League defender Vicky Bruce, Jake Griffith, glad you're with us for this one. Vicky, we're coming down the stretch of the season. Obviously, big opportunity here at stake for both of these teams who are out of the playoff picture. How important are the first 15 minutes for these teams to dictate and set up the tempo?
These first 15 minutes are crucial. Whoever gets the goal first, they're going to have a massive advantage holding on to the score for the rest of this game.
Cook trying to volley that one along, and Brooklyn will instead cough that one up and settle in on possession. Dallas will. Now turned upfield. Hamid trying to find an opening. Quickly canceled out by Kelsey Hill, wearing the captain's armband this evening for Brooklyn. And we get a whistle from Braden Fry, our first stoppage of this contest. Brooklyn, their team, they're not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Over 300 fouls committed. Dallas, a team as well, not afraid to mix it up either. Almost 250 fouls. You have to imagine with the weather being a factor, we might see a more physical on-the-ground contest today.
Oh, yeah. I'd assume there's going to be multiple cards on both sides.
Lifted in at the restart. Glancing header toward goal. And that is where Tyler McCamey, making her 12th start in as many appearances, will toss that one back out. Flung forward here, takes a deflection off the glancing header. Strawn was in the vicinity and instead knocked out of play. Dallas will have the throw. Tonight, Brooklyn FC welcomes Dallas Trinity for Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Gainbridge. A special celebration honoring the incredible fans whose support has fueled Brooklyn FC in the Gainbridge Super League all season long. Building now is Dallas. Joining the attack, now tucked inside. Kroger able to knock that one away. It was Mark Guidry who was coming up from that right fullback spot to try to help set things up, and we get another whistle. This one will go against McCutcheon, and a free kick coming for Zimmerman and company. Highlighted Catherine Zimmerman at the top of our broadcast. 7 goal contributions 6 goals of her own in now 17 appearances, including her start tonight. She has been a productive player for Brooklyn. I mentioned that dynamic duo of Kroger and Rebecca Cook, but they have other faces that can get involved in the attack as well, like Zimmerman. Brooklyn asking questions, and that knocked off the boots of Annie Williams, and it will be a throw for the home side. Giving back up to Williams, off the toss back in, and that will roll across the end line. A corner coming here for Brooklyn, and they have been dangerous on their set pieces. 6 corner goals for this season, second most in the league. They have not scored off a corner since February 14th.
Well, don't you think this is the time to do it?
Tomas Tangahina, he sure hopes it would be the time. It'd be a strong way to start this contest out. He told us earlier this week when we caught up with him that they put a lot of emphasis on their set piece, not just attacking set pieces, but defense as well. This in swinging. First contact made by Dallas. The second ball rifled through, and it will go out for another McCamey goal kick.
Kroger puts a good ball in here, bending left foot. Doesn't quite make it over the first defender, so it's cleared out, but comes back out and we get a shot off. It's just a little wide. Keeper doesn't even have to make a save.
Dallas pinned back deep here now. This high press of Brooklyn has had some real teeth behind it, the way they've been able to manipulate the offense. And Dallas is a team that they do like to build out from the back. That is a staple of a Nathan Thackeray coach team. They'll have to move this ball very quickly in order to get around this press. That not quick enough. The switching pass out of play, and a change of possession will occur as Kroger will have to throw in. Scarpelli, the give up, Cook, good combination, edge of the area. Trying to force the issue was Garziano.
This is where things can get really interesting because the weather, the field, there's so many components that you just never know what's going to happen, and a goal can come from anywhere.
A strong start since the opening whistle here for Brooklyn FC at home. Toss into Zimmerman at the byline. Out it goes again. And it's the second corner coming for Brooklyn. Garziano at this near flag. Drives this one in near post on the goal line and cleared away. Frantic moment in front, and McCamey able to make the stop.
Garziano puts this ball in. It's deflected. It's bouncing around in the box. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Something can happen from this. Unfortunately, goes right to the goalie. Doesn't even really have to make a save.
McCamey has been asked to answer the bell early in this contest. I mentioned a moment ago, a strong start for Brooklyn. Tomas Tangahina, he had said that he wants to see his team start strong as McCamey comes out and sprawls on top of that one. This was an area that when we caught up with Nathan Thackeray, he said that going back to their match against Carolina Ascent, he was pleased generally with the performance, but he did feel like Dallas came out a bit flat in that opening half. Wanted to see them impose themselves a bit more in this contest. So far, they've been back on their heels, and they will have a throw-in. Trinity trying to avoid their first 3-match losing skid since October 12th through November 8th of 2025 toward the earlier parts of the season here in this 2025-26 campaign. They lost 4 straight matches during that stretch.
It's tough to pull yourself out of that kind of rut when you've lost that many games in a short amount of time.
Nathan Thackeray, he has talked at length this season since he came over at the start of the spring campaign that he has seen a lot of growth from this Dallas team, but there's so much newness. They brought a handful of new faces in at the end of the fall, just prior to the start of the spring. They bring Thackeray in as well as their permanent manager. He likes their chance creation. You look at their numbers, they had an XG over 2 last match week, but it's that finishing touch, the ruthlessness hasn't been there. It's laid off inside on this right side. Hamid Hamid trying to angle this toward goal, takes a ricochet. And there's Kelsey Doherty able to make the grab. 17th start of the season for the Georgia native and former UAB Blazer. Tomas Tanganyika, he had talked about this earlier in the season. They start the year out with Bree Norris in goal, and then Doherty gets an opportunity, and she's really run with her opportunities, has provided a high level of net minding in goal for Brooklyn.
She's very agile, very quick. She might not be the tallest, but she's good with her hands and her feet.
You mentioned there with the feet, that distribution piece of the goalkeeping in modern day football, it's so important. If you don't have a goalkeeper that can help get your attack jump started, you'll be hard pressed to score a lot of goals. Tyler McCamey, we saw just a couple of matches ago, she helped get the offense jump started late on a Yinny Danielson goal against Spokane. Has an assist this season, McCamey does.
It's very impressive.
Brooklyn on the move again, trying to unlock some of this verticality. And that has been a theme this year for Brooklyn FC. They want to get vertical. That doesn't always mean they're going to thump at route one and just go direct. They do like to use those switching passes, but the ability to move that ball around vertically is something that Tomas Tanganyika has emphasized during his tenure as coach.
Tomas has mentioned too that, you know, these girls are very resilient, have a lot of grit, and they put up with some, you know, conditions and things that a lot of other teams don't have to do. So for them, this is second nature for them to go 100% at all times and just high press, go direct, and try to take what they want.
Floated forward, looking for Guidry on the right. That goes over her head, and it will be another throw for Brooklyn. First action for the home side since that April 12th win against this very same Dallas Trinity team, which coincidentally came here at these confines. Tanganyika, he had said that they put a lot of emphasis on staying active in training this week. Cook, oh, what a beautiful move around the defender. Was looking for the whistle. Not going to get one from Braden Fry. And instead, it's a goal kick for McCamey.
Ever so slightly, almost gets that shot off. Great job defensively to prevent that from happening.
Rebecca Cook, she's so good with her feet. Obviously, the goal scoring has been on full display this season with the 8 goals, 11 goal contributions. You go back a few matches ago for this Brooklyn FC set. She had the great finish off the volley.
She's known for those one-time finishes. They're phenomenal.
This rain really starting to drive here in Brooklyn. Garziano eyeballing this one on the ensuing free kick. Lifted in the area. Brooklyn is there initially. Trying to head that around to Hill, who will watch it spill out of play. Early on, it's been Brooklyn FC dictating the tone and the tenor of this contest, Vicky. They have had a lot of energy and a lot of intentionality in what they want to do. Tomas Tanganyika, despite his team with their backs against the wall in terms of their playoff hopes, he was adamant with us this week that they're not the ones who feel the pressure today. He said, we feel like Dallas feels all the pressure. They're playing with some house money early. It's Hamid, though, trying to spring free.
There's always something to be said, you know, if you're the underdog.
Bogagu trying to lift this one inside, knotted down, falling top of the area, ricochets, it's Hill with the clearance, still free inside. Dallas desperately trying to hack away at it, and it ultimately booted clear by Brooklyn. Pressure collapsing in on McCamey. Has to move with it, and finally does. Able to connect with Massimo. Oh, Hamid lifts that one forward. No one on the receiving end. Strong was sniffing around in the area. That is a strong clearance for Scarpelli. and an important one at that. We talked at length earlier in this contest about Strawn. Ricocheted in, kick save made, right on the doorstep. Building once more is Dallas. They've done well to keep this ball on the Brooklyn defensive half of that midway line. Guidry will peel this one back and reset. The patience is something that has been so impressive to see at times this year for Dallas. They're not afraid, and they don't have an option. They will recycle this ball around.
Dallas knows exactly what they're doing. They play well when they have the ball and they dictate the pace and everything. So they're going to want to keep this ball as long as they can.
Being more in possession has been key for this Dallas team. Vicky, you're obviously a former player that has a lot of experience under your belt. How difficult is it to play in these types of conditions?
These types of conditions usually favor the worser team, I'd say. You know, whether it's wind or rain, there's just so many factors that lead to, you know, one little error that could then be the game-changing decision.
There's Hamid trying to shift to that dangerous left foot, and instead was running right into Annie Williams, and there is a whistle for a foul.
See her cutting it inside. Hamid tries, can't get anything off, is fouled before anything happens. And now they're in a goal-scoring position. Oh, wow. Okay, I stand corrected. It is Brooklyn's ball.
Annie Williams able to win that whistle against Jasmine Hamid, who obviously is one of the biggest acquisitions Dallas has been able to make. It was just 2 weeks back that prior to their Spokane Zephyr win, the day before they announced that they had acquired Hamid from Fort Lauderdale United on the free transfer. They're going to bring her in. Both teams still looking for their first shot and shot on target of this contest. Now rolled in behind here for Brooklyn FC, and instead that'll find the end line again.
You mentioned Hamid. She also, you know, she had 4 goals with Fort Lauderdale, but she hasn't gotten one with Dallas yet, so I'm sure she's hoping that tonight could be the night for that.
Hamid coming off her first start in a Dallas Trinity shirt last match against Carolina Ascent. Pocket nearly picked there. Flynn able to clear the lines initially. Garziano set it up. Now that goes ricocheting wide again. And it will be a goal kick. Brooklyn FC fans, this is your chance to get even closer to the action and experience Brooklyn FC from a whole new perspective. Scan the QR code on your screen to enter for a chance to win 4 free seats in Brooklyn FC's new pitch-side seating area. These seats put you just steps away from the action, where every pass, tackle, and goal happens right in front of you. Everybody wants to be as close to the action as possible, right? Brooklyn, they'll have another corner. In swinging ball, initially there on that near side.
Lofted in, just couldn't get it past the front post.
Lofted back ahead. Garziano floating this one back down low, and McKamey smart to let that one go out of play. We continue to close in on that 20th minute. Both teams still looking for their first shot on target. Have been 2 offenses that have, at times have struggled to find goals. You look at Brooklyn in their last 540 minutes played, only 6 total goals during that stretch. And all 6 of them, I should say, 3 have come against Dallas, and the other 3 have come against Tampa Bay. 3 times shut out in these last 5 matches for Brooklyn.
I think they might have a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to make sure that they can get the job done tonight.
It hasn't been without trying, though. They have generated some good, dangerous opportunities. 88 shots on target on their 211 total shots. A turnover, counter developing here for Brooklyn. Williams will turn that one back out wide. Dallas able to jump on top of it, though. And Trinity looking to clear it. Thompson will have the throw in. The native of Washington, former 50th overall pick in the 2022 NWSL draft by Washington Spirit. Elects to defer instead to Annie Williams. Annie Williams, a player with a lot of good international experience. This Brooklyn team, they have a real international flair about them. Williams spent some time with Parma Calcio in Serie A over in Italy.
That speaks a lot to the grit that I was talking about before, too, because playing overseas is definitely difficult.
The toss in from Williams. Charging forward is Brooklyn. Now inside. Arziano looking to square. It was out of the reach of Cook. Dallas desperately trying to tightrope that touchline, and instead, running out of room, it does go across, and it will be a throw for Brooklyn. Brooklyn, a team, they want to move fast. They want to move quickly. Moving quickly with it now as Cook has space. Cook from distance. Stopped again by McCamey. First save of the evening for Tyler McCamey. First shot on target for Brooklyn. Advantage played here for Dallas. Massimo. Massimo has support inside. She'll cut inside instead. It is that clash of styles tonight between that sort of heavy metal football style that we see from Brooklyn time and again versus a more intentional and purposeful Dallas team, as the offside flag will come up. If you're Brooklyn, though, wanting to try to unlock that verticality, but also creativity in that final third, how difficult is it when you're going against a team in Dallas that at times has been very rigid in their low and mid block?
It's very tough to play against a team that's compact and knows how to do what they do very well. And Dallas is one of those teams. So Brooklyn needs to have a moment of brilliance or a moment of weakness from Dallas to capitalize on.
Back along, but out of play, and Brooklyn will have another throw in. Select, the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Turned upfield here for Brooklyn. Knotted down by Guidry, and it falls to the feet of Amber Wisner. McCamey is there for the emergency clearance. Dallas, they have wanted to try to get that left side of the attack going early on. It has been a strong point. You go back to their win against Spokane at home 3 matches ago. They really favored that left channel. That's where they generated a lot of their attacks. But Brooklyn, they clearly have identified that as a strength of Dallas and working to take that away.
It's funny, they've had, a new coach now, but I remember last season they were very strong at getting the ball crossed in and scoring goals from that. And they seem to be consistent with that and doing it year to year.
Here is Brooklyn once more, trying to lead the way in with Scarpelli. Telegraphed pass taken away and cleared away by Smart Guidry. You did play in this league a season ago, played for Carolina Ascent and Philip Poole. What is the thing that's impressed you the most about the way the league has grown year over year from the first season to now this year?
It's grown every game, and yet it's grown even monumentally season to season. I'm really, really impressed with the steps forward it's taken and how it's treating the women in the league, and also just the level of players that are coming into this league, and how it's also giving opportunities to some of these younger girls, and they are doing phenomenally. I mean, they are setting records, and they're some of the youngest people out there.
Former teammates of Stella Spitzer at Carolina sent the youngest player to appear in a Gainbridge Super League match. There was a whistle, and Brooklyn will have a free kick here. This one crossed in to the back post, headed high in the air, punched away. McCamey able to get a fingertip to it. Brooklyn will pull it out and reset things. Another crucial stop for Tyler McCamey. Now Scarpelli going to work. Play that one into space. Emma Loving now. Loving shaking past one would-be tackler. Loving lifting it toward goal. Off the top netting and out. Tyler McCamey, though, getting involved early.
Garziano getting down the line, getting this cross off. It might not look like it's intentional, but it is genius to have it bouncing, because with the rain and with all the chaos in the box, this has a very real chance of going in.
The coaches will tell you, just put that ball on net and good things might happen. Nearly something good happening for Brooklyn. Dallas will have the throw in. Trinity do have the one shot. It has not gone on target. They've had some troubles this season about getting into those dangerous scoring areas, getting into that penalty area against this Brooklyn team. You go back to their last match against Brooklyn, that 3-0 loss, had 32 final third entries, but just 2 touches inside the penalty area.
At the next level, that's just not good enough. You're not going to score with that limited amount of touches in the box.
That is something that Nathan Thackeray has emphasized since coming over in January to manage this team, being intentional about getting into that assist zone, the dangerous areas, getting traffic in front of goal. There was a whistle from Braden Fry. Things restarted now. Lifted up ahead by Brooklyn. Falling toward Kroger, but knocked away. Instead, it's Loving. Now another whistle. Oh, and Swan went down, and it will be a free kick for Dallas. Mentioned the young players making an impact. Swan getting the start today. The #1 ranked high school player in the state of Texas, making her 3rd start for Dallas Trinity this season, 10th overall appearance. Trying to glance that one along off the throw, and instead hacked back down by Brooklyn. Given up over to Hill as Brooklyn will build things out from their own defensive half. Now flung forward. Nodded away, and Swan will pick things up. Both teams have struggled at times to stay in possession. I have to imagine a lot of that can be attributed to the conditions. It's not just the rain, as you can most definitely hear driving here at Maimonides Park, and it's also the wind as well. This ball whipped in, was sailing over everyone's head and out the other side.
You also have to consider it's not just that it's raining on them actively. It's every pass you make, every shot you have, it then gets that much stronger, faster. A ball you play, you play a certain weight. You've trained your whole life to kick it how you want to kick it, and all of a sudden the rain is taking it way further maybe than it was intended to go.
Hey, some things don't even need any narration. You just saw that shot there of the rain driving. That tells really the full story, as do those stats on your screen now. 2 combined shots, just 1 shot on target as we barrel in toward the half-hour mark played. Brooklyn FC, they're trying to join the men's counterpart of this organization as being victorious on this Saturday. The Brooklyn men getting a win over New York Cosmos in the Prinks Tires Cup earlier today, their first ever USL Cup victory. It's Brooklyn on the move now, asking more questions. And that goes careening out of play. It'll stay here for a Brooklyn throw. Danny Williams, 28-year-old outside back, will throw this in deep in toward the final third. Good time at South Dakota State collegiately, came up through the USLW League with Minnesota Aurora for making the jump to the Gainbridge Super League.
And that's the thing that's so amazing about this league. I mean, it just creates opportunities that didn't exist before.
Brooklyn will reset things. Now this hit from distance goes hopping toward goal, parried away by McCamey and out. Another phenomenal save for Tyler McCamey, and we stay scoreless.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. A left-footed shot that's bouncing. In a normal game, you know, it doesn't really cause much problems. And here, it's almost a goal.
This well hit from distance by Scarpelli.
She had the power behind it. It was well hit.
Floated into the back post from Garziano. Headed down by Loving. Still free inside that area. And that finally is where Lauren Flynn will jump on it and at least try to clear the lines. Lauren Flynn, a player that Nathan Thackeray was effusive in his praise when we caught up with him earlier this week. She comes in January of 2026. Feels like she's added a real resoluteness to the defensive side of the ball for this Dallas team. And they were without her for some stretches, a bit of a knock that she was carrying. And he said that Dallas is a team that when they have her, you can tell that they're a much different team than without her.
And that's really a testament to her as a player and as a person, to have that big of an impact on the field.
Dallas will come up with the takeaway. It's Hamid trying to transition into the attack. Instead, the underlapping run over to Massimo. Dispossessed is Massimo. And Brooklyn will take things over. That's somewhat of an example there, though, of what you were talking about earlier about how the weather changes things. In a normal contest, that's a simple, easy touch that Kroger makes. Instead, it almost slips out of play and almost a turnover.
The simplest things become difficult. And with that said, it becomes that much more frustrating if you do something that you know you never usually do, but you can't really help it in these kinds of scenarios.
Turnover once more by Dallas in their defensive half. They have had some issues when taking over possession in that half, hanging on to it. Defender going to ground, trying to knock Hill off the ball. Successful there. Dallas can't pick it up, though. And it is finally cleared away by Brooklyn.
It's funny, for teams that are both being so direct in this game, they're doing a very good job of keeping the ball and playing it simple out of the back. Instead of just booting it, they're deciding to play.
Hill goes forward with it. No one on the receiving end over on that right flank. And instead it goes out for a Dallas throw. And you mentioned that ability to build from the back. Yes, Dallas is a team that is their tactical ideology. But for this Brooklyn team, that's not necessarily who they are. It takes a bit of a change of mindset for this Brooklyn team. But showing some adaptability on the fly. Here is Dallas knocking on the door. This one squared in front. The clearance not there. Hamid picking the pieces up. Oh, Bogagu back to Hamid. Looking to whip this service in near post. Batted away and cleared out.
Chioma does a great job staying on sides, crossing that ball in left-footed, back post. Gets a touch. Doherty comes out clutch with that save. That reaction time is impressive.
So Mar Guidry right there on the doorstep. A chance to surge. Dallas in front, not to be had. Driven in off the corner, flick toward goal. And Doherty is there once more. Suddenly some life offensively for Dallas. It took some time to get going, but now over a half hour gone. They have consecutive shots on target.
I think Dallas has also proven that they are a very good second half team, and I think they're just trying to put all the pieces together to be quality for 90 minutes, and they're doing a good job of it tonight.
That second half was something that Nathan Thackeray had felt like they dominated the second half against Carolina, so it felt a bit hard done to not come away with that result. You give up the goal in the 89th minute that ends up sinking you. A short toss in to resume play for Brooklyn, promptly taken over by Dallas, but that short-lived. Hacked back down, looking for Garziano, running out of room, and that will be a goal kick. 3 teams have punched their ticket into the Gainbridge Super League playoffs, but the season is far from over. To stay up to date on all the latest information, analysis, and insight, visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com. I will say, it is important to keep an eye on that Gainbridge Super League website. As mentioned, 3 teams have already locked things up. Sporting Jacks, Lexington, and Carolina Ascent, who took the Shield last year, locking up 3 of the 4 playoff spots. And you look, that sprint to the finish for that final playoff spot is going to be a real sight to behold. It's DC Power right now occupying the 4th spot. Dallas Trinity, though, they do have a magic number of 10. If they could get a win today, it would trim that number down to 7, needing 10 points over their final couple fixtures to secure their place in the postseason, which they narrowly missed out on last year. Spokane trying to get into the playoff picture. Just 3 games left after today, and of course Brooklyn still alive as well, trying to put their name in that hat of a playoff hopeful.
You also have to keep in mind that a lot of the teams on the lower half of the table have 1 less game played than some of the other teams. And the fight for 4th is going to be absolute chaos. I mean, so many of those teams are within whiskers of points here and there, and every game matters, every point matters.
A draw tonight for Brooklyn does keep them alive. It is only a loss that would eliminate them. No clinch or elimination scenarios at play for Dallas. However, you would have to imagine, doing just the simple math, that a negative result against Trinity would hamper their ability to get back into that picture.
Well, and Dallas also has to consider that they may be tied with point-wise with DC, but there's a big difference in goal differential, so they're going to want to try to fight that.
Taken away again by Brooklyn. This will bring us to a stoppage as we have a whistle. And it will be our first booking of the evening as well, courtesy of our center referee, Braden Fry. Just a bit of a grab and a heavy challenge from behind.
That's one of those things where you get beat and you don't want to be beat, so you just pull them down, try to stop the play. Sometimes it's a smart foul.
Sarah Hinson going into the book. First yellow handed out this evening. And it sets Brooklyn up with an attacking half free kick. They have been able to stack up a couple of these attacking half free kicks. This is already the 4th of this opening 45 minutes. It's been a scoreless stalemate so far through 37 minutes. Brooklyn FC trying to change that here. Driven in upon the restart, knocked down initially by Brooklyn, and cleared away by Dallas. Second ball served in by Scarpelli. Was angling over the head of Guidry and out.
I think that's the right idea by Scarpelli, too. Once the ball gets that far out, and with this rain and what's going on, put it right back in. Try to get something to happen in that mix.
It'll be Dallas with the throw in. Right now, despite Brooklyn possession-wise having controlled most of this opening half, it is Dallas Trinity with the 3 shots and the 2 on target. A pair of consecutive saves made by Kelsey Doherty, the 28-year-old.
At the end of the day, it's not how many shots you have, it's how many you put away. So that's what it's going to come down to tonight.
Doherty, a player that Nathan Thackeray on the Dallas touchline somewhat familiar with. Doherty did trial with NC Courage in 2019. Thackeray was roaming the touchlines then as an assistant coach. He was ultimately named the interim manager of that NWSL side in August of 2025. Carried them through the duration of the last NWSL season and then got the coaching job here at Dallas. He'd said a few weeks ago when I had a chance to catch up with him ahead of their Spokane match that he himself has been impressed with the Gainbridge Super League since coming in. All of the talent that this league has been able to acquire. So many faces in and out of these lineups that have spent time on NWSL rosters.
That's the beauty of this league, too, is that any given week, starting lineup could be different. You have just so much talent.
Lifted ahead, nodded down toward goal, and McCamey able to make the save on the line. Rolled in behind. Cook knocked off the ball. McCamey waving players forward. Tyler McCamey, 2 first-half saves in this opening 45 minutes. If you're a fan of goalkeeper play, well, this has been the matchup for you this evening. Both keepers making some impressive saves early on each. McCamey and Doherty, that is 2 saves respectively here in this opening half. 1 moments ago from McCamey to slam the door shut on another Brooklyn effort. Kroger coming up with it, shaking free of 1. Now Kroger playing it through. It's Zimmerman! Stopped initially, the rebound there! And across the face of goal and out. Try as they might, Brooklyn just can't get one past Tyler McCamey. Ubogagou. Late arriving run from Guidry, able to find her. Now she'll flash this in toward goal. Left it a bit short. Falling top of the area to Swan. Now tucked back inside. Brooklyn looking to clear the lines, and they do. Guidry now pulling the strings and will reset. As Dallas will build things out from the back again. For as much as we've talked about the conditions clearly having an impact on the styles that both these teams want to play, this has been a relatively free-flowing first half. The shots and the offense starting to pick up the pace just a little bit. Brooklyn with 3 shots on target, 2 for Dallas Trinity.
I think this game's going to come down to a lot of moments of ebb and flow. So sometimes, you know, Dallas might have momentum, and then immediately Brooklyn can take it and see if they can score in that time.
Dallas, their offense has come in real fits and spurts. It's been Brooklyn who have been the team that, at least in terms of the shots on target, and for majority of this half the possession, they have been in control. It will be Dallas with another throw in. Dallas Trinity this season, 18 second half goals, just 10 here in the first 45 minutes. It's Brooklyn, though, on the move. Top of the area, worked out wide. Here's Cook, has to reset. The offside flag will come up, though. Dallas Trinity, a chance to grab a hold of this contest once more. As you mentioned, it's been ebbs and flows of momentum through this opening 45 minutes. A near giveaway at the back, and now it is taken away. Garziano punched aside. Another stop made by McCamey, her fourth. The press of Brooklyn starting to come alive once more. Transitioning, though, into the attack is Dallas. Carving through the heart of the defense was Trinity. Now here's Guidry. Guidry stepping into one. Tried to lift it out wide. Turned aside by Brooklyn. Ubogagou back on it, cutting to her left. Ubogagou looking to work that inside and cannot. And that has been a theme here in this first half. Dallas just 6 passes completed into the final third.
I wonder if the field's playing into that as well, because I think it looks a little bit narrow, and they seem to be running out of space. Both teams seem to be doing that.
That is something compared to Dallas Trinity's home venue of the Cotton Bowl down in Dallas, a very wide, expansive venue. The lines are a bit tighter here at Maimonides Park. Ubogagou should go forward with it. Massimo now trying to create the layoff. Back to Guidry. Steers that inside. Ahead, Massimo turning. It's Swan now. The interchange over to the left side. This is Hamid trying to unlock this offense. And again, it's Brooklyn locking down that outside channel. Really trying to take those flanks away from Dallas, and they've had success doing it.
And that's what they have to do. They know that that's Dallas's game.
An even 0 minutes of first half stoppage time here inside Maimonides Park. We have reached the 45-minute marker, and the halftime whistle sounds from Braden Fry. A scoreless deadlock through 45 minutes. Vicky, what stands out to you?
This is anyone's game. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen, even the girls out there. So they're just going to have to keep fighting and see what can come of it.
A flurry of important saves for both netminders, but we stay goalless through 45 minutes of play here in Brooklyn, New York. 0-0 between Dallas Trinity and Brooklyn FC. We'll head to break. Halftime report on the other side.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Sporting Club Jacksonville, what a magical run it's been in their inaugural season. Carolina ascent on top.
Tremendous team goal for Power FC.
Spokane on the scoreboard in a very important game for playoff positioning.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same. The highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
It's the half here in Brooklyn, New York, and we have no score through 45 minutes of play between Brooklyn FC and Dallas Trinity. The halftime report from Maimonides Park begins now with a look at our news and notes around the Gainbridge Super League. Carolina Ascent and Lexington SC joining that playoff conversation, both clinching. And for Carolina Ascent, after what was somewhat of an uneven start to the season, now they're within striking distance, perhaps, of the Players' Shield.
Once you get into that top four, it's anyone's game. I mean, they're all going to be fighting for redemption.
Lexington and Cat Berry breaking the record book, and of course in Fort Lauderdale, the star Allie Long signing with Fort Lauderdale United. A look around the league, as we mentioned earlier in the first half, Lexington taking down Sporting Jacks. That closes the gap. Just a 1-point difference between those teams in the league table. And then early in the first half between Tampa Bay and Carolina Ascent. Right now scoreless, just shy of that 20th minute. We'll head back to break. Halftime report continues when we return to a soggy Coney Island, 0-0 between Brooklyn FC and Dallas Trinity.
Keep up to date all season long by visiting BrooklynFootballClub.com for everything about our Gainbridge Super League team. Get to know about the country's newest professional soccer league. Brooklyn FC is proud to partner with NYC Footy of the Footy League, where 60,000 New Yorkers of all skill levels make friends and stay fit, playing in organized leagues across the city. Register today at nycfooty.com. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticket partner.
At the halftime break inside Maimonides Park, the home side, Brooklyn FC, scoreless against Dallas Trinity, 0-0 through 45 minutes of play. Alongside Vicky Bruce, I'm Jake Griffith, and let's get you caught up with how we got to this point with our first half highlights. And Vicky, it's really the goalkeeper show in the opening 45.
Yeah, there's not too much that went on in this first half. A lot of deflections. Got a good save there by Doherty. You know, it's anyone's game with the balls bouncing, and that's where a goal could easily come from.
And in the 20th minute, Brooklyn would start to find their offense, but McCamey there again.
And Cook has a good shot. You know, she's got power on all of her shots, but no one's finding the corners of the net right now. They're making the keeper have easy saves.
We pick back up in that 24th minute, and this time it's Garziano centering this one.
Took another deflection, and that's where McCamey comes out and has to punch it. I mean, this goes in if someone puts a nose on it. These are the kinds of opportunities that both teams have to take.
Near that half-hour mark, and you start to notice a theme, a lot of Brooklyn asking questions, but then again, McCamey once more.
McCamey's doing phenomenally, making these saves, but Brooklyn's also got to follow up on these shots. Not everything has been pushed out of bounds. You keep it in and have a second go.
In that 33rd minute in the first half, this time it was Dallas's turn to try to answer, and the similar result to Brooklyn.
Hamid's had some good success down that left side, getting those crosses off, putting them back post, trying to get a touch on him. Once again, Doherty comes out with a good save. Could be the keeper show tonight.
I got both teams with a sub-1 expected goals. Brooklyn trying to play this through, and another stop.
And that is so frustrating for Brooklyn to not score on this play. The ball goes trickling across the line.
Now look at our halftime stats, and if you're Brooklyn, you're going to walk away from that first 45 feeling a little frustrated. You get 5 shots, 4 on target. At some point, you have to start being ruthless with these chances.
You just have to take a little bit more initiative when you're doing these kinds of shots. You have to find the corners. You have to make the right decision in this moment of you're not really sure what to do, but you have to come away with getting it done.
Despite Brooklyn having the lead in shots, it's Dallas with the lead in possession, 56% for Trinity, who are scoreless, as is Brooklyn at the half, 0-0 through 45. Second half kick when we return.
Fans, be sure to stick around after today's game. We invite you to stay in your seats for a very special post-game ceremony as we celebrate the incredible career of Brooklyn FC's Sam Rosette. Fans, please join us in supporting our team as they travel to Jacksonville for their next match on Sunday, May 3rd, for a night of professional soccer action. Our women's Gainbridge Super League team will square off against Sporting Club Jacksonville. The action begins at 7 p.m. Streaming on Peacock. Fans, let's give a warm welcome back to the pitch for the start of the second half to Dallas Trinity FC and your Brooklyn Football Club.
Back in Brooklyn, New York, scoreless through 45 minutes, and we approach the second half kick between Brooklyn FC and Dallas Trinity. This will look at our live league table. There is one other match currently in action. Carolina Ascent, who have clinched a playoff spot, still scoreless against Tampa Bay Sun. This result could impact Tampa Bay Sun's ability to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Tampa Bay eliminated with a loss or a draw against Carolina Ascent, or Dallas Trinity finding a way to get a win tonight against Brooklyn.
You never want to be in a position where your team's destiny is dependent on another team. So this is definitely frustrating for Tampa, but excited to hear what comes of that game.
Dallas Trinity trying to trim that magic number down. As for Brooklyn, they are just trying to stay alive right now in the 7th spot in the league table. Their maximum amount of points that they can earn, 37, and a loss tonight, as we mentioned at the top of our broadcast, would sink Brooklyn's hopes of staying alive in that playoff hunt. However, Brooklyn did not play like the team that were feeling the pressure, much in line with what Tomas Tanganina had told us earlier in the week, playing very free-flowing and very, you don't want to say casual, but not a team under immense pressure.
And that's when you're going to get the best out of your players, when you're having fun and there isn't that much stress and you're just doing what you're good at. And I think them focusing on that is going to be potentially the game changer in this tonight.
Brooklyn, 5 shots, 4 on target. A quartet of crucial saves for Tyler McCamey in the opening 45 minutes. It will be Dallas with the first touches of this second half. Both teams out of the halftime locker room. There is the whistle. The clock starts once more, and we are into the second 45 minutes here in Maimonides Park in Brooklyn, New York. Along with former Super League defender Vicky Bruce, I'm Jake Griffith. Glad you're with us for this all-important final 45 minutes between Dallas and Brooklyn, their final meeting of the season. No changes for either teams at the intermission break. There was a collision. Emma Loving going down and staying down there on the left side of your screen, and Loving grabbing at her right temple.
You never want to see anything with the head.
Loving pleading her case to the official, Braden Fry, our center referee, for a whistle. Brooklyn will have the throw back in as it goes skipping over the head of Garziano and out for a consecutive throw for Brooklyn FC. The biggest factor, big storyline in that opening 45 minutes, the weather. Rain continuing to fall. You see Thompson there. So much moisture on that ball, trying to just wipe it off with the shirt. Of course, that's hard when the kits are also waterlogged to dry that ball out. Third straight throw for Brooklyn as they make their way down this near touchline.
Yeah, some things you might not think about would be when you're in that locker room at halftime, you are soaking wet. You're cold. You're getting all kinds of feelings that you don't want to be there. You're just freezing. So now you have to go back out, play a second half, and pretend like it's all fine.
Look, I'm a big fan of cold weather, as Dallas will have a goal kick, but there's just something about being soaked in rainwater and cold that just makes you miserable, right?
I will say I lived in Denmark and it was cold and rainy almost all the time. and it was my least favorite weather climate. I've played in snow as well, and it's difficult, but it's bad when your feet get frozen and you can't feel anything, but I will say rain is horrific if it's cold out, especially if it's raining before you even got out there. It's been raining this entire time. It's been raining for their warm-up, first half, halftime, second half.
I myself am a winter weather truther, so I would love snow on the ground. Of course, it's late April, so I think that would be maybe a warning sign for everybody if there was snow coating the ground here inside Maimonides Park. We get a whistle well behind the play, and that will bring us to a stoppage. Just one card handed out from Braden Fry in the opening 45 minutes. Despite the conditions, especially in those final 15 to 20 minutes of that opening half, things really opened up for both teams. It was a lot of back and forth action. Did not see an abundance of stoppages in the first 45. The second half has been advantageous to Tomas Tangerini's Brooklyn FC side. 23 goals scored in the second half this season. The restart for the free kick. And works down this right-hand side. Out of play, and Dallas will take things over. Despite Dallas having the advantage in possession in that opening 45 minutes, had just 6 final third entries. Only took 4 touches in the Brooklyn penalty area. Those are numbers that if you're Nathan Thackeray and company, those have to be higher if you want to try to get one past Kelsey Doherty.
Yeah, Nathan mentioned, they have standards and what he expects from his team. They're still getting the hang of things because he's new, but he's very pleased with how they're learning his style of play and handling it.
Ball won back in the midfield. Estrón will go forward with it. It's Massimo now on the left. Massimo, early ball in. A bit too early and knocked clear by Brooklyn. Headed back along by Dallas. Hamid was able to get a touch to it. Trinity can't hang on to it though. And here is Zimmerman. Ball knocked down initially. Zimmerman will turn and boot this one clear.
Pretty remarkable, the defensive work ethic on Brooklyn.
You're watching Brooklyn FC versus Dallas Trinity on Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Gainbridge, a night dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the amazing fans whose support has fueled Brooklyn FC and the Gainbridge Super League all year long. This one played through, Cook trying to track it down out wide and cannot do so. They've tried to play Cook through a handful of times, and they just have not been able to find their star player.
Garziano, I think, played that ball in, and it was so close to being the perfect ball for Cook to have a tap in, but I think this weather is a factor. I think the ball had a little too much weight because of the water on the ground.
For the average fan that has never played, that may not know, just how much does that ball speed up on a waterlogged pitch?
It's at least double, in my opinion. I love playing in the rain because you get to wear your metal studs, and it makes the play that much faster. But when things aren't going your way or you need a certain result, it can be miserable.
Doherty trying to clear the lines here for Brooklyn. Under some duress, Brooklyn FC were. Dallas have had, energy-wise, a good start to the second 45 minutes. Trying to be a bit more intentional with their possession. We get another whistle from our center referee. When we caught up with Nathan Thackeray for Dallas earlier this week, one of the things in reflecting on that 3-0 loss the last time they were here at Maimonides Park, he took and shouldered almost all the blame for that 3-0 loss. He felt like that he himself did not do, in his own words, a good coaching job, challenged himself to improve in that regard.
And that's a testament to the coach, to admit that. He admitted that they changed their style of play a little bit to match Brooklyn instead of trying to do what they're best at and focusing on their strengths. And it just didn't work for them. They couldn't beat Brooklyn at Brooklyn's game.
He called it matching fire with fire against Brooklyn in that 3-0 loss. And They did not have as much success as he was hoping for. On the move is Brooklyn. Options here. It's Cook on the flank. Cook going for it. Takes a deflection out, and it will be the first corner of the second half for Brooklyn FC.
I believe that was Amber with the clear, and that kind of situation, that shot right there, that can also lead to a handball with this weather. So those kinds of decisions are really smart.
Brooklyn, they have had some dangerous moments created by swinging these crosses in, both in open play and on set plays like this. Garziano will head to the far flag. She's been the trigger person on all their set pieces. Garziano hangs this high and swinging, headed toward goal, but wide from Hill. It will stay here. Consecutive corners now for Brooklyn.
Garziano really lofted that corner kick.
This time it'll be Kroger as they'll take this corner from the near flag now. Kroger, an assist away from setting the league's single season record for helpers. Kroger in swinger to that back post, frantic in front. Dallas trying to clear it, and they cannot. Kroger over to Garziano. Garziano flashed in toward goal. Poked back down by Loving. Williams trying to turn on it. Her effort is blocked, and it's cleared by Dallas again. Trinity unable to clear the lines, though. Here's Kroger. She'll stand this cross up. Back stick. Headed away. And Dallas just trying to clear it. They do have an injured player inside that penalty area.
Looks like it might be Lauren Flynn.
Flynn had gone down on the second corner during that spell of possession for Brooklyn FC. And she had stayed down, and you see the wincing on her face.
Good shot, great clearance. Oh, right off the clearance, though. That's where she felt it.
You see Flynn gingerly back to her feet, trying to walk off that knock. She is such an important player for this Dallas team. Back in the lineup again today, 8th start in as many appearances, as Williams will back up, looking for perhaps a long throw in here. Brooklyn, they've scored twice off their throw-ins this year. Knotted down by Loving. She'll work it out wide, headed by Cook, but it's wide of the near stick and out. The Brooklyn offense continuing to ask questions.
The ball is thrown in, a great flick, a little misclearance, goes all the way back post, one touch head, so close to going upper 90.
Cook able to get that touch off in another dangerous area. It's really been her bread and butter, whether it's running in behind or those glancing headers to that back post to her where she can score.
Both teams we've mentioned are direct, but they're also quite good in the air. Aerial duels are going to be a big part of this matchup.
Brooklyn side, 4th most duels won in the Gainbridge Super League this season. Trinity trying to go down this near line, and instead they'll turn it over. Thompson will have the throw, the former Gonzaga Bulldog, 2-time All-West Coast Conference pick during her collegiate days. Vincent, who is carrying a yellow in this second half, able to volley that one forward over to Strawn, who resets back to Flynn. Flynn was the player who had gone down earlier that brought us to a stoppage, staying in. You could still see, though, as she shifts out of frame, still walking a bit gingerly on that right leg.
I think she's going to need a sub here soon. I think she knows she can't compete right now at her best, and she's going to want to do what's best for the team and maybe take a step off.
The Gainbridge Super League playoffs are just a few weeks away, and we're tracking all the possible scenarios. You can visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter to get updates on your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox. And as we showed you at the start of our second half, a look at the live league table, rather. Things getting really tight in that race for that 4th seed. You undoubtedly want to get your hands on that newsletter. The inaugural Gainbridge Super League season was so fun and fascinating. We see Carolina ascent. They win the Players' Shield. Tampa ends up winning the league. But their second act here in 2025-26 for this league has outdone almost the inaugural season in terms of the drama, the compelling storylines. Lexington moving around a lot of players in the offseason. Right now, second in the league. Catberry, the chase for the Golden Boot. Sporting Jacks has really been the story of the league. The expansion club down in Jacksonville, they've had such a strong season in their first foray into Gainbridge Super League play, as we'll get another whistle here from Braden Fry.
And that's another reason this league is so exciting. It's that year to year, the table changes. I mean, you could be a bottom team one year, and the next year you're one of the top teams. Players switch around, you know, in those windows, and you have a lot of young talent coming up.
Here's Dallas now. Dallas heading to that end line, trying to cross it in. Hugging that far stick was Doherty, able to cut that cross off. Tampa and Carolina both still scoreless in the other match currently in progress around the Gainbridge Super League. That conversation around Sporting Jacks is so fascinating because not only are they that upstart expansion team clinching a playoff spot, the first team to do so, they have such a unique blend of players because they have players who have come up through the USLW League. Bailey DeSmit, who continues to find goals, former W League Golden Boot winner. College players like an Abby Hugh, who cut her teeth at NC State. This is Brooklyn, now Loving on the right, trying to shift out wide. Wanted that cross in, was denied that angle by Henson.
It's a good block by Henson, too.
Despite carrying the yellow, Sierra Henson undeterred. She is one of those willing defenders on this back line for Dallas that will get in there, will stick a foot in, try to intercept and influence those crosses. Kroger drives this in, headed up high, wide of the near post, and out. Brooklyn, they've had no shortage of set pieces. That their second corner of the second half, 3 in total tonight, 4 attacking half free kicks in the opening 45 minutes. They just have not been able to produce off of them, as McCamey will put this back into play.
They've done a great job to get shots off from these corners. They just haven't been getting them on target. They're slightly wide.
Loving, charging forward now. Hounded defensively by Ubogagu, and it will be a throw in for Dallas on the change of possession. Should this scoreline hold, it would be beneficial for Brooklyn. A draw would see them live to fight another day down the stretch of the season. It's a loss for Brooklyn tonight that would eliminate them from playoff contention.
And ideally, they want to win. They want to get 3 points, but at the end of the day, just staying alive, get to another week, could be good enough.
This contest would have, rather the result of this contest would have some other implications as well, especially for Fort Lauderdale. Dallas, should they win tonight against Brooklyn, it would go away toward helping eliminate Fort Lauderdale. Well, Fort Lauderdale United would also have to play to a draw against Spokane for that elimination scenario to come into play. A Trinity win outright would also help eliminate Tampa Bay Sun, regardless of their result against Carolina Ascent. We've played over an hour in this contest. No goals to be found, but plenty of opportunities. Right now it's Brooklyn, 10 shots, 4 on target. But you look at the XG, inching closer for Brooklyn toward that 1 mark, but still sub 1. As for Dallas, you can usually use that expected goals number. While it doesn't tell the full story, you can typically use that to extrapolate some good data out. And while they do have the 2 shots on target, right now just a 0.4 XG, really tells the story of the quality of their chances and a testament to the Brooklyn defense.
Brooklyn is playing phenomenally, and they're doing what they do well, and they're making it very hard for Dallas.
Dallas will make a change. On comes Bethany Boss, the former NWSL Rookie of the Year in 2019 for her 11th appearance this season. Chuma Ubogagu will come out. A hard shift turned in for the Texan Ubogagu. There's a whistle from Braden Fry.
Just a nice little push in the back from Lauren Flynn.
This has been a much more herky-jerky second half in terms of the starts and the stops compared to what we saw in that opening 45. And you have to imagine a team that's as dangerous on their set pieces like Brooklyn, that plays into their favor. This season, Brooklyn, 4 goals off free kicks. Garziano elects to roll it forward to Kroger, who peels it back. Garziano dots this one to the back stick. Frantic there, still spilling around in front. And Dallas able to clear it off the line.
And that was way too close for comfort for Dallas.
McCamey in that first half, she had read those crosses well, tried to come out with the punch and just couldn't get all of it.
Here we see the ball was lofted in, and she did go for that punch. It's probably because she didn't think she could get a catch on it with this weather, but you gotta do something. I mean, that's way too close for comfort. You have almost a goal line save there.
The Brooklyn offense surging back to life all of a sudden. And they will have a throw over on that far touchline. Tomas Tangarina there, right in the center of your screen in the long trench coat, understandably so because of the weather, watching on. Have to imagine that he is pleased with his team's effort, especially in this second half. Scarpelli, he'll slip it forward. Now on the move, it's Williams. Williams had her pocket picked. McCamey will scoop things up. Well, we mentioned in the first half the lines being a bit tighter here inside Maimonides Park, a bit more of a narrow pitch. That was something that Nathan Thackeray had acknowledged, that he felt like Dallas didn't handle well the last time they were here in that 3-0 win. And while they started the second half out with a quick burst of energy, struggled to sit in on possession. Now played through. Here's Sealy Strawn. Strawn across goal, back post, there, off the side netting and out. The right idea on that centering pass over to the back stick to Samar Guidry. The finish, though, not there.
This initial ball in, it's on the ground going across the frame. I think Doherty mistimes it a little bit. It gets through to the back post, and at that moment, you have to put it in the back of the net, hitting the side. It wasn't an ideal angle, but that could have been the moment that maybe they recaptured this game.
Doherty will have it to restart play. That represents Dallas's first shot of this second half, and now advantage here for Brooklyn FC. Cook trying to move it over to Zimmerman. We get a whistle for a stoppage.
You had mentioned that Brooklyn's so good at set pieces, and I completely agree. But I also think Dallas is trying to stop the momentum of the game and kind of foul almost any opportunity that they can, so they can stop, sequences of brilliance from Brooklyn.
This one from some distance out here for Brooklyn FC. Garziano drives this one forward. Noted well defensively again by Dallas. Trying to work that one along via the header. A collision sends Annie Williams down. And Tomas Tangarina, he is apoplectic over on that far touchline, demanding a whistle, but won't get it. And now Dallas will turn this upfield. Strawn, the layoff. Hinson high into the attack. Wants to cross. Out it goes. And it will be a throw in for Dallas. Henson whips this one in, making the grab there is Doherty. And that will end the danger for Dallas Trinity. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. But these teams still trying to accomplish their goal, which is to put a goal in here in this second half. Another hefty challenge. No whistle sounds. Continuing their protests behind the play, and now here is Massimo looking for the switch. This was something that Dallas didn't do with a lot of consistency in that first half. Those square passes out wide.
It's also very hard on this pitch, as we said before. It's quite narrow, and let's call it what it is. It's a baseball field. There's different levels on this surface, and a lot of people struggle with this kind of thing.
Hamid drives that cross in, turned away by Brooklyn. Lofted forward, a foot race here. Graziano trying to track that one down, going in on Flynn, who we've already seen go down for a little bit, immediately grabs again at that lower right leg.
I tell you, Flynn's desire to dribble and keep the ball when she's potentially hurting, it's remarkable.
It's something that Nathan Thackeray lauded her for. She's good on the ball, can help them break lines with her dribbling and passing. But more than anything, he called her a warrior. Feels like that mentality is somewhat infectious around this team.
And when your coach calls you something like that, the belief they have in you, it makes you that much better of a player because you know that they've got your back.
That belief is something that Thackeray is very big on as a coach, as Flynn will turn and drive that clear of goal. He has said many times throughout the year that he has created an environment, been intentional about creating an environment where he wants all the players to know he has that level of belief in them. Another whistle will sound, and the physicality really picking up here over these last couple minutes.
That's just Amber being Amber. She is always getting into those tackles.
Brooklyn will be the beneficiary of that whistle. They'll have another free kick as Garziano shadows over top of it. Garziano again. Floats this one in. Rifled wide off the header. Did deflect on its way through, though, off Dallas. And another corner one.
I believe Celie Strom was the one that flicked that out, and that was fantastic defensively to win the ball in the air and make sure you got it out of bounds to stop the play.
It's the fifth corner of the night upcoming for Brooklyn FC. 6 corner goals for this season. Kroger swings this in, headed wide. And it'll stay here once more. Consecutive corners coming for Brooklyn. Mustang, he told us earlier this week that despite this Brooklyn team not having the largest staff in the Gainbridge Super League, they try to use all of their coaches to dedicate a significant amount of time during their training sessions at being strong on set pieces. It's Kroger back to the well. Brooklyn, second bite of the apple, in front. Knocked away clear by Dallas Trinity, and it's funneled forward again. Kroger steps past one, now in, deflecting around.
There's Amber hunting for the ball. She's so fierce.
One of the reasons that Amber Wisner wears that captain's armband for this Dallas Trinity side. One of our top players. Now Swan trying to spring Trinity free, unsuccessful there. Looking ahead, a good ball forward. I have seen Brooklyn start to be a bit more direct They are a direct team, but being more that Route 1 style, trying to soften things up in behind that back line of Dallas. It was something that Nathan Thackeray and Dallas Trinity had keyed in on, of wanting to keep their lines tighter at times, but also create enough separation to not allow them to be played through here in this contest.
Yeah, Nathan had mentioned something about, you know, the optimal width. They want Dallas to be wide enough to make Brooklyn run around and lose some energy and maybe not be able to high press as much as they want, but you can't be too wide that then you open up spaces and there's gaps in there.
Near that end line, it's Zimmerman. She'll cut this back. An opportunity here for Brooklyn. Shot is deflected. Dallas have done such a good job of getting bodies and feet in those passing and shooting lanes, really creating a frustrating evening at the office for the Brooklyn offense.
Dallas is protecting that box like they've got everything to prove.
Cook will volley it forward. Garziano tries to head it along. A collision inside. No whistle again. Now this hit from distance goes skipping high and out.
What's remarkable about this shot is that it's taken so unexpectedly. It almost goes in, you know, upper 90, and no one was really thinking she was going to hit it off because all of their other chances have been in the box and using feet and noses to just poke it out.
We stay scoreless here in Brooklyn. There's McCamey once more. And McCamey will toss this one out. Things have really shifted in favor of Brooklyn as this second half has carried on. Dallas with just the one shot since the clock rolled over to the second 45 minutes. Brooklyn will have another throw. It'll be Kroger along that far touchline. She has been involved in the attack by helping handle set pieces, but has not been able to push as high as she would like. They have shifted her around from their last time against this Dallas Trinity side. Had to play her on the back line due to availability over on that left fullback side. More in that midfield role.
Substitution for
Brooklyn will make a change. First of this contest, Mylena will come on, the native of Brazil, for her first run of the evening. 19th appearance of the season in a Brooklyn shirt. Long toss back in from Kroger. Williams will drive this forward. It's cut out, though. Wisner trying to work it ahead. Left that pass short. That's been some of the story of the day for Dallas. Win in possession. Nathan Thackeray was adamant that he wanted to see his team not just hang on to the ball more, but be better in terms of going forward with it. And at times they've left some of those passes a bit short. Have to imagine that a lot of that can be attributed, though, to the weather conditions. Meanwhile, Dallas, they will make a change. Cameron Lancaster, the Texan, will come in. She will spell Jasmine Hamid. McCamey now has to get rid of it quickly. Able to find Celie Strawn. She's been marked very well tonight by Brooklyn. Strawn has not been able to get many touches off as Dallas again will go forward with it, and instead Brooklyn will reset things back to Kelsey Doherty. On the turn, here's Trinity. Out it goes. It's a throw coming. Brooklyn FC fans, here's your shot to upgrade your game day. Scan the QR code on screen for a chance to win 4 seats in Brooklyn FC's exclusive new pitch side selection. Be right on top of the action and experience the intensity of every play like never before. This is as close as it gets. Go to Henson now. Henson works it along this near side. Dallas, they have to reset. One thing that Nathan Thackeray has talked at length about for this Dallas Trinity team, their ability to create, it's just the finishing hasn't been there. In this contest, it's been a little bit of both. They haven't been able to create much, only 2 shots on target, both of those coming in the opening 45 minutes.
You can see in the last minute or so, they advanced into the opposing half. They just didn't make any chances or even looks at the goal.
Brooklyn holding firm in their defensive shape. If you're Dallas, how do you start to soften up that shape defensively of Brooklyn? Likely with square balls and switching passes, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Williams will throw it in. Here's Massimo. Try to shovel it back over to Wisner. Instead, it's turned over. Childers from distance. That's a hit and it's in! From nothing comes something for Brooklyn, and the deadlock broken. 1-0.
And what a fantastic strike from Rylan Childers. Left foot, bouncing, keeper doesn't stand a chance.
Struck well from distance. She had one earlier in this half that went just high. Didn't need much room and was able to bury it short side.
And by using the inside of her left foot, it actually curled out a little bit, so it was out of McKenny's reach.
Not a bad time to find your first goal of the campaign for Rylan Childers. 1-0 to surge Brooklyn in front. And just about 10 minutes plus stoppage time away from living to fight another day. Tomas Tangahinha, he had told us, reiterated to us throughout our conversation earlier this week that it was not his team that was feeling any of the pressure about potential elimination. They have played like it all evening. Mylena now running in behind. Mylena will lift this back post, headed down. Dallas clears it initially. Still Zimmerman, and now we get a whistle. Complexion of this contest changing in a hurry. What had been a real stalemate for almost 80 full minutes. Brooklyn able to find the breakthrough, and you could feel it building. They had dominated this second half to that juncture, and their efforts rewarded.
They were knocking down that door. It was only a matter of time.
Mylena going in, able to knock that ball free. Despite it being Childers, the goal scorer, who started this contest, it has been some of the changes that have come on and made an impact. Mylena has immediately come on and provided fresh legs and new looks offensively for Tomas Tangahinha's group.
And you can already tell with only a few touches on the game, you can see her Brazilian is showing. I mean, she's very technical.
Thumped in behind. Out comes McCamey, who will make that grab. Has been a valiant effort for Brooklyn. Without Hope Breslin tonight, missing this contest due to the double yellow and subsequent red she was handed last time out back on April 12th. That's 3 goals not in the lineup today for this Brooklyn FC side, but they've been able to overcome it to this point. Henson, how about the switch? Instead, the layoff, and now here's Annie Williams racing forward with it. Williams was down at the last minute. An official says play on.
I'm a little surprised he didn't call something there. Looked like there was a little contact.
Early ball in from Massimo will instead find the byline, and that will be a Kelsey Doherty goal kick.
Substitution in the 83rd minute.
Brooklyn will make their second change of the night. Sophia Lewis, the Florida native, will come on.
She replaces number 9, Jess Garziano.
Jess Garziano, her evening is done, and she has been such a crucial part of Brooklyn tonight, helping to get them to this 1-0 lead. Somewhat of an attacking-minded, though, change made by Tomas Tangahina. Sophia Lewis, the forward, is back. A couple of goals this season. Perhaps Brooklyn, their eyes on a second goal to provide just that level of insurance. There's Tomas Tangahina, hired in August of 2025, the club's 4th manager after spending 3 seasons in Portugal. He's got such a jam-packed resume of success at the international level. At one point, helped Damiense to a top-flight promotion in Portugal. It's Brooklyn on the move again. They have it on the left side. This hit from distance again. That time, McCamey is there.
You had mentioned an offensive sub. As a player, if you know that you're just going to sit back and defend like crazy for the last 2 parts of the game, it is a little bit mentally hard, but it's also strangely becomes almost easier for the other team to score because they just feel like they have that many more chances.
Brooklyn will have the throw right in front of their own technical area. Brooklyn are trying to thread that back through inside. Wanted Rebecca Cook, who has been held to a somewhat quiet night by this Dallas defense. No, although a near giveaway by Dallas in their defensive half. Brooklyn will finally settle on it. Here's Scarpelli. Scarpelli dragged down. That'll be a whistle. And Scarpelli staying down. Lee Scarpelli, the former Penn State Nittany Lion, plays along that back line on that left side tonight where she's starting at. But even though she is a defender, she is one that they love to push her high into that attack, create those numerical advantages. She is back to her feet.
She's been in the attacking box quite often this game. And it looks like maybe that was a hand issue, which unfortunate, but usually you're happy it's not your feet.
Lifted back ahead to restart play off the free kick. Kroger able to double back there. Second time down that left alley, and it's knocked out of play by Dallas. A throw coming here for Brooklyn. Brooklyn, they came into this contest the second worst 5-match form. You want to be playing your best football down this stretch of the season. They had not been these last couple weeks, but this is the type of result, the gritty, hard-working nature they've turned in that could potentially turn the tides on their season heading into their final 4 fixtures. They will be on the road at the #1 team in the table next match week at Sporting Jacks. Dallas, a triple change for Nathan Thackeray's bunch. They will be out of substitutions. Allie Thornton will come on. Joining her is Sydney Cheeseman and Caroline Kelly. Allie Thornton adding a big boost to this offense for this Dallas Trinity side, one that has struggled to create and produce tonight. 16 goal contributions in her Gainbridge Super League career. Brooklyn countering during that substitution window with one change of their own. Sam Rosette playing her final home match of her career. Announced earlier this week that she will retire from professional football at the end of this Gainbridge Super League season. And Rosette will come on and charge on wearing that captain's armband for the final time here at Maimonides Park. 9th appearance of the season for the New York native Rosette. Booted ahead to restart things. First contact made by Dallas. And Trinity trying to swing this upfield. Out it goes for a throw. Just about 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Dallas looking for a lifeline offensively. Lancaster will reset things. Now Dallas, they go forward with it. Trying to get that direct action going. But Brooklyn, they've been so stout defensively tonight. Boss now into an empty space. No one on the receiving end for Dallas Trinity. That is where Scarpelli will clear it. Not deep enough though. Cheeseman was able to get the touch. Now it's tossed out and it will be a throw back in for Dallas Trinity. Have to move quickly with it here. Long toss ahead, racing down the flank. This one cut across in front. Out comes Doherty, able to punch it away. And an emergency clearance from Brooklyn. This is a Dallas team that they can score in bunches in the second half. Dallas Trinity, 29% of their goals this season have come in the final 15 minutes of matches. Drilled ahead, and again, it finds the gloves of Doherty.
Well, Dallas as a whole has several players that have contributed a lot. They've got about 3 different players, I think, with 3 goals. So they have the personnel to make something happen in this last minute.
Brooklyn just minutes away, looking at about 4 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of this contest from securing an all-important result at home. Have to withstand this from Dallas, though. Inside, near side, it's in! Dallas have leveled the super substitute Cameron Lancaster. 1-1.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes.
Ball's played down the sideline. Seems like it's 3v3. She gets the ball into the box. One touch, left side, just passed it in. Beautifully hit. Defenders could not get a touch on it.
Dallas catching Brooklyn in transition.
And that had to have been Allie Thornton's one of her first few touches of the game, and she had an immediate impact getting that cross off.
3rd goal of the season for Lancaster. Comes not a moment too soon for Dallas Trinity. Nathan Thackeray, he reiterated all week that the belief in this team internally is so high. They have so many dangerous players that can create from any angle. Now looking for perhaps more here. Lancaster tried to pull up at the last minute, and now Lancaster will go down. It will be a throw for Dallas.
I'm actually surprised the referee isn't calling that. It looked like they clipped her feet. She's in the box.
Well, that is Celie Strawn who went down. Strawn back to her feet. Now the layoff here. Cross flipped inside. Suddenly, Dallas, after not having many touches inside that penalty area all contest, they have roared to life, drilled in behind, but running out of room is Trinity.
There's nothing like a 90th minute goal to give you momentum.
Knotted back down by Dallas Trinity, who continue to score goals in those final 15 minutes of the second half this season. Trinity, that's their 9th goal they've scored in the 76th minute or later in 2026. Now here's Sophia Lewis. Lifted back ahead. Zimmerman looking to nod that one down. Falls to Rosette now. Mylena splitting two defenders. Mylena gets past a third. Lewis gave it up out wide. Brooklyn have had some issues tonight when getting into that final third. They have had a tendency to bunch up a little bit, and now a foot race here. Springing forward is Trinity. Lancaster goes wide and high.
That all started from Allie Thornton's switch of play in their defensive half.
You see the type of impact that Allie Thornton, to your point, can have. Came on, her first few touches, ends up getting the assist on the Lancaster equalizer.
And Dallas is not letting up here. They want to score in this last minute of play.
It is worth remembering that a draw for Brooklyn would also keep them alive. It's a loss that would eliminate them. Henson trying to stand a cross up, left it a bit short. Coming up on the final 15 seconds of stoppage time. Still Trinity in possession. Guidry funnels it back down. They'll reset back to Samar Guidry, trying to steer clear of Zimmerman. Guidry, her cross in, it's not clear. Trying to hit it off the half volley was Henson. Guidry again. Lancaster, across goal, in front, headed away. Braden Fry content to let it roll out across those four allotted. Now Wisner. Cheeseman swings this in, punched away, net is free, won't make its way through, and it's cleared. Not deep enough from Annie Williams. Here's Henson, her cross, back stick, headed over the bar.
So close. All she had to do was head that down. Easier said than done in such a high stakes moment.
There is the whistle from Braden Fry. Full time in Brooklyn, New York. A furious rally from Dallas Trinity falls just short, and the points are shared on this Saturday night. Tonight's save of the game brought to you by Cashable, the home of socially responsible credit.
Hamid takes the ball inside here. She manages to cut Kroger out and gets a shot off. It hits off of Scarpelli and is ricocheted, but Doherty does a good job to keep hold of that ball. And right here you can see it went under Kroger's leg, so it wasn't even expected to maybe get the shot off.
An important save on the night for Kelsey Doherty. It ends level in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn FC 1, Dallas Trinity 1. We'll head to break. When we return to Maimonides Park, we'll break it all down.
Fans, please join us in supporting our team as they travel to Jacksonville for their next match on Sunday, May 3rd, for a night of professional soccer action. Our Gainbridge Super League team will square off against Sporting Club Jacksonville. The action begins on May 3rd at 7 p.m., streaming on Peacock.
A hard-fought 90 minutes comes to a close in Brooklyn, New York, and Brooklyn FC and Dallas Trinity split the points in this 1-1 result. Back inside Maimonides Park for our full-time report. Alongside Vicky Bruce, I'm Jake Griffin. Let's break it all down with our full-time highlights. And Vicky, late in the contest, it was Brooklyn striking first.
Yeah, here we have Rylan Childers having a long shot. It's about 25 yards out, left foot. It's curling right a little bit, so keeper struggles to maybe get a touch on it. It also looks like it took a little deflection there. It's pretty hard to stop in the heat of the moment.
Then in the 90th minute, when Dallas needed it, Cameron Lancaster to the rescue.
Yeah, here we see the ball out wide with Allie Thornton. She gets a touch in, and at that point, you're at the penalty spot. All you need to do is place it. She does a beautiful job, left foot, puts it in the bottom corner. There's absolutely nothing Doherty could do there.
The first couple of touches for both those players coming on late in the half as part of a triple change, and the two subs linking up to save the day for Dallas as we look at our full-time stats. And if you're Brooklyn FC, your chance creation is off the charts. 6 shots on target, but you only get 1 goal.
Sometimes that's how it is. It's not always the team that has most possession or controls the game, dictates the game, gets away with the win. And unfortunately, Brooklyn wanted the win tonight, but I think they'll be happy with the tie and they can stand to have another week.
Importantly for Brooklyn, the result does keep them alive in the playoff hunt. Brooklyn FC and Dallas Trinity in their 4th and final meeting of the year. They share the points on this Saturday night. For producer Maria Ringo, director David Liebeskind, my partner Vicky Bruce, and the rest of our broadcast team, I'm Jake Griffin saying so long from Maimonides Park. Brooklyn 1, Dallas Trinity 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.